Recording here. Ooh, recording. Sucio Talk Podcast. Sucio Talk Chat Podcast.
Great song.
You gotta get. That's a good one. My dad made it. My dad made a little jingle.
Makes my Brazilian want to like.
Right, you want to dance. It's inside of us for
It really
sure.
is.
The South American Latino nations.
Boricua.
No, we're talking about. So Michellee Fox. Michellee. Yeah, explain that to you. You were telling me that.
Yeah, so being Brazilian, names in Brazil have a female or a male connotation. So Michelle is a Michael.
Okay.
And Michellee is a girl.
All right.
So if you call me Michelle, I'm like, but I'm a girl. Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
So I added the extra E so people
So
can
people
see me.
know Michellee.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And they forget, obviously.
Yeah. Definitely forgot. You just told me I forget. It's okay. That's the way
It's
it
all
usually
good.
goes for me.
Yep.
So how you doing? You're back from Alaska.
I'm back from Alaska, resting a little.
Yeah,
It
so-
was gnarly.
What are you booked for up there? What are you doing?
So I was a head chef at a lodge, a hunting lodge.
Okay.
Supposed to have a sous chef. Sous chef didn't show up a couple of days before, which means that I ended up cooking for about 20, 25 hunters, 12 crew by myself, breakfast, lunch, soup, appetizer, main course, and dessert. 50 days straight.
Jesus.
Mm,
How many hours a day is that?
like 14.
Ooh. Are you ordering from like purveyors? How's that go?
Yeah, so we were in Larsen Bay. So like Kodiak is the big city of Kodiak Island, about 2,000 people. So from Kodiak, I came Seattle, Anchorage, Kodiak, and from Kodiak, it's a little bush plane, 4-seater to
Yeah.
Larsen Bay.
Okay.
So all the food comes in the little plane
So you have to order how far in advance?
about a week.
About a week.
But sometimes the weather is bad. So if I'm going to do a creme brulee tomorrow and the weather is weird, then I'll make something else so I can have eggs for breakfast. you know?
Right.
So it's kind of like
How's the
depends.
power over there?
the little town, I mean, if you call it a town, has their own power. So they buy it from it. You know, working these kind of jobs. I just came before that. I was in the Rogue River. That one was really cool. It was like the Rogue Rivers are wild and scenic. So people will raft for 5 days and they will raft for the day, sleep on lodge number 1, raft for the day, sleep. And so we were lodge number 3. So that one was speedboat only. So everything came on a speedboat,
Oh, wow.
including myself.
How's the speedboat?
It was, I have motion sickness and it was awesome.
How fast does it go?
Pretty fast.
Right.
I don't know, but like...
Are you just
It
like
felt like
bouncing up and down?
No, it feels like you're driving a car on a freeway.
Really?
It's like flat straight.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was wild.
How big is this boat?
I mean,
How many people are in it?
there was only 3 of us and a lot of groceries.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so metal bottom, so it can hit all the rocks and just fly right through it.
So you are hitting rocks and ice and all that.
You do hit, yes.
Right. The boats are just,
But it's so fast that it just
you're
kind of
just
like...
slicing it.
It's like you're hitting a little bump on the road. Nothing crazy.
Got it. Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So you get the groceries, you bring them over there, and then are you like prepping and freezing? Or are you trying like what? How do you?
Yeah, so just like a normal place, like prepping and cooking for the day.
But just you.
Just, in Alaska, it was just me.
Yeah.
In Rogue River, I had a couple other people. I mean, the most important thing is, as you know, being a dinner chef.
Yes.
You don't want to be the breakfast chef because you can't go to sleep.
That's right.
Right. So I had a breakfast chef there.
That's dope.
Somebody did the desserts, which I'm not really interested in baking.
Oh, that's the best.
Ugh, I hate making. I hate to bake. It's the
Really?
worst. I like to create the flavor profiles,
Right.
but that whole like measuring thing, I'm more like
Let's get it right.
it's hard to make recipes because I have to like make it a couple of times and be like, wait, was that a quarter tablespoon? Or?
But that's the joy, the journey, right?
Yeah.
They say the joy is the journey. So when you do write the recipe, I wonder, do you just kind of get over it? Do you not cook that recipe because you don't need to remember how to make it, you know?
Yeah. I don't do much of recipes in general. But yeah, just kind of like by taste, what needs, what doesn't need. But I can write a recipe. It's just I'll do the same dish and then I'm like, it takes me twice as long because I'm like, oh, I just put that in there. Write it down. Oh, that went in there. Write
It's
it
like
down.
a lab. Yeah. You're like
it's
a
like a
scientist.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you're doing now. But here on Sucio Talk, we take it all the way back. So where were you born?
I was born in Curitiba, Brazil, the very south of Brazil, like direct line to Paraguay.
So were you inland, coastal?
We're about an hour and a half from the beach. Yeah.
Okay.
Have a beach house up there that we grew up on. So we'll take that drive an hour and a half pretty often.
Okay. Got it.
Curitiba is I think it was about 1 million people when I was growing up. It's
so
like a
pretty big city.
Pretty big city and like European style. So we are one of the pioneers in recycling and transportation, all of that. As you can see, I'm pretty white for a Brazilian, and that's because it's cold down there. So the Germans and the Italian, and they all came to that direction because it's colder. It depends of like which colonizer came from where. Yeah, So
do you guys have wine?
Wine growing. Lots of wine growing. Lots of meat. Yeah,
that's very cool. Yeah. So what would your parents do when you were growing up?
So I'm kind of an orphan. My mom passed away when I was 4, car accident. My dad disappeared, and so I got juggled around with my grandma and my aunt. My grandmas who taught me how to cook with the purpose of making me a great wife. Yeah.
It wasn't so you could make money and...
Oh, no.
It was like... So she would tell you that. Your grandma would be like, oh, yeah, you need to be a good wife.
Oh, yeah.
What did you think about that?
I thought it was bullshit. Right. But, at that time, still learning. I mean, she taught me how to iron a shirt, how to crochet. I'll go to crochet classes, literally grooming me as to be a wife. Okay. And then by the age of 14, I found skateboarding, and that was the end.
So you started skateboarding. What did grandma say about that?
I didn't know. I used to hide my skateboard in the bushes.
Okay, got it.
So 6th grade or whatever, because I repeated 5th grade. My grandfather actually got run over by a car too. So
holy fuck!
Yeah.
Okay, so in Brazil,
yeah. So mother ran over. My mother was a car accident, and then from 4 to 11, I lived with my grandmother, and then my grandfather got run over by a car. So, yeah. So, yeah. And so I found skateboarding. I repeated 5th grade when he passed away. And then found skateboarding, which took me a couple of years to kind of wiggle into the boys even allowing me to skate. Right. Because girls weren't skating back then. We're kind of the first girls skateboarding.
What'd you have to do to get them to allow you to be in?
I made a couple of best friends. Okay. And then I found some other girls that skated. And so we kind of figured out how to get a board. And so we'd just kind of be on the corner, And when a boy wouldn't be going, we'll come through and they'll be like, get out of here, kind of thing. So by the time we were 16, I think, was when we started going out. High heels, little skirts. Right. And the skate boys were at the party, always. And they'll be like, hey, baby. And we'll be like, fuck you. You didn't let me skate. So then they realized that by letting us skate, they could also get laid. Right. And that's how it all started.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Good way to do it.
Yeah.
So you
with you guys, it's all about.
Hey, with you guys, it's about using what you got.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's what you did. You used what you had.
Yes.
So you got there, you start skateboarding. And how long, was it a passion that you guys were forever? Yo, we're going to be professional. Or was it let's fuck off and skate all day?
Because we were the only girls skating, it was kind of like a breaking ground. So by the time I was 19 then, I moved to Rio de Janeiro. And I started a company with my friend Patricia, another skater.
Yeah.
And we call it Violet Flame Skateboarding Events.
Okay.
And so, yeah, and then we went to all the companies, we're like, hey, we're going to like, and they're like, I don't think so. Probably not.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So then I went up the hill in the favelas, which is the Chan towns in Rio, to buy weed. And I met this little boy who was like 12, and he, no shoes, no shirt. And he's like, let me see your board. Because they steal cable TV from the rich people. So he watched ESPN at that point.
Okay.
But never seen a skateboard. He grabbed that board and he fucking went downhill on it. Never fell. By the bottom, he flipped, fell, and grabbed it again, ran again up. So long story short, fell in love with him. Every week, need to buy more weed. So I will go and bring him a piece of a skateboard, talk to his mom if he was doing good in school. From that, I created the idea of doing the first volunteer action of skateboarding in the favelas.
Okay.
Pleasure Hill, which is a great name for the hill. And so the drug dealers were like, you guys are crazy, you're not going to be able to do that. So we couldn't go in and out of the hill so often. So I ended up living there for 3 months at Tiago's, the little boy's mom's house. And so we went to the skateboarding companies and we're like, look, you don't need to give us money. You don't need to give us anything. All you got to give us is a board and a shoe and a T-shirt and stickers and your ramps and your skaters. And so, yeah, so then we did a huge event. All the guns got put down.
That's dope.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And like...
did you have to go to talk to each individual drug dealer?
Well, to the boss, which is scary.
Right.
To say the least. AK-47s.
Yeah.
About a line of them so you can get there. And I mean, a couple of days after the event, every gun had a skateboarding sticker on it. So they were like calling the Drop Dead, because that's a Brazilian skateboard company. The Drop Dead gun and the Vans gun. And
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts.
And so because we actually did it, and I mean, we brought a huge amount of pro skaters and graffiti artists. The idea was to show them that they could be in the outskirts of society and still do super, super, super cool things and not have to hold a gun.
Right.
Right. And so once we did that, it's called the Red Command, which is the faction that we were in, the hill that we're in. They own at that point like 90% of the hills. And so from that day on, we were the most gangster girls in Rio, because anywhere we went, people knew who we were. We could walk in the dark, like in little streets, and just do the CV sign, and people be like, oh shit, I don't want to mess with that.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So you guys were getting into all the clubs, anywhere you wanted to go.
Yeah, so funky. Have you heard of funk? Funk, baile funk is what we call it. So like rich people now go.
Come on, like the music?
The funk music, funky music, right? So, but the parties for those are inside of the favelas. So you're allowed to walk up and go up there as a normal person and enjoy it and leave. I mean, if you look, the guns are like dancing because they're watching, And so we were going to all of those, to any hill, and it would just like be like backstage and like, Mr. Katra, bless him, dead now, but yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, so at this point in your life, are you like, this is what I'm gonna fucking do?
Yeah.
Like, this is it.
Yeah, so I started sending letters to the World Cup of Skateboarding. Letters, remember those?
Yeah, I remember
like
those.
people wrote letters, right?
I used to write them to Santa.
Yeah, kids out there. There's a thing called letter. You actually put it on the mail. Yeah. It took months to get there. So the Bostics run the World Cup of Skateboarding. And I sent a letter saying, hey, we did this event. We want your book of rules for amateur contests, because we're going to like make all these contests. So then we became pen pals. So then, I was a foreign exchange student in Alabama, by the way. It was bad.
Foreign exchange student in Alabama?
Yeah. As a skater.
What town?
Like McIntosh, Alabama, like population 200.
What major?
No, I exchanged to like a high school. I did my senior year.
Oh, pero how did you know
Why
that
did
town?
I go there?
Yeah.
It's like a program.
Sister high school?
No, it's like a regular, your family pays and you can choose between hot and cold. I'm like, California, hot.
Right.
They sent me to Alabama.
Wow. Okay.
They didn't like me there much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where'd you live?
like in 5 different families within a year.
Whoa, why?
Because I would get kicked out because I would hang out with black people.
Oh,
Because,
really?
Skateboarding, punk rock, hip hop, or
all that.
chewing tobacco, country music. I had my skateboard with me. I'm like, no. But I look white. So they put me in white families. And first day of high school, the kids were like, look, you look white. You can hang out with white people, but you're obviously not white. So you can also hang out with black people. And I was like, fuck, did I really get that? And days later, they're like, did you make a choice? And I was like, do I really? And they're
Did you make a choice?
They're like, oh, yeah, you need to make a choice.
Who's coming up to you and saying this shit?
Like kids.
Just random ass kids.
Yeah.
Damn.
Fountains for blacks and fountains for whites. That's 1996.
Like that kind of shit. Okay.
Yeah.
1996, just so everybody can hear it out there.
Yeah, 96.
96. Wasn't like the 70s or 60s.
Oh no, I'm not that old.
50s, right? Yeah.
Right.
But
it hasn't happened. It's been so long ago.
Yeah,
like, not really.
Not that long ago. Not in certain states.
Really isn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, 5 families. I would get kicked out because they'll catch me hanging out with my friends. So I learned English really well. Did not get the accent, it was a priority for me. So I told the World Cup Skateboarding, hey, I can speak English. I can translate for you guys because the World Cup comes to Sao Paulo once a year. So I got the job and I translated for them. And I was at the World Cup of Skateboarding and I met my son's father there, which is also a professional skateboarder.
Okay.
From there, fell in love, got married, moved to Grass Valley, had a baby.
Did the whole family thing? Were you still in skateboarding? Like
yeah,
because
he was a professional skateboarder, so
right,
we traveled the world and skated. I took more of the backseat because he had an 8-year-old. So I took more like the mom kind of, but still skating all the time. Bigger, better places that I ever imagined, know.
I bet you get to skate at those stadiums and arenas before the big events.
Yeah. Right? So totally.
That's cool.
I did things like I went to China and skated. TikTok girls had a skateboard. The biggest skate park in the world is in China.
Really?
So we're there for 2 weeks.
That's crazy.
To skate.
When you say big skate park, like how big we talking?
Like 45-foot roll-ins and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not talking big like square footage, like
both.
Big. Okay.
Big and tall.
Got it.
So
like a Walmart, like a super center Walmart size. Okay. Got it.
But just 45-foot roll-ins, like. Crazy.
That's nuts.
No Chinese person knew how to skate. So the president at the time hired all the pro skaters from America to come. They all got paid the same amount of money and to do like a fake contest to show the Chinese people what it was possible.
Right.
And so I came with. And so I got to skate. I mean, I was skating the whole time pretty much.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So how's your kid now?
He is turning 21 9 seconds after midnight.
Okay. Oh, to literally right now, today.
Yeah.
Today.
Oh, a couple of days from now.
Okay.
31st.
A couple of days from
yeah.
now. Oh, God
New
damn.
Year's Eve. Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy birthday.
My job is done.
All those.
Shit.
He's out of here. That's the only child?
Only child.
Okay. Okay. There you go. How long? Are you still married?
I am not.
Okay. Got you. How long were you married?
I was married for like 5-6 years or something.
5-6 years. Went out. Were you still in the skateboarding world? So then
we went from Grass Valley, we went to Hawaii, Big Island, which I love, by the way. And it's kind of like a Brazil in a way. The way everything, like aunties and uncles and that whole thing, got divorced there and then moved to San Francisco and was in a women's shelter.
Okay.
And from there, backpacking a 5-year-old. And within, 8 months, I put a 30,000 people festival in Santa Rosa Fairgrounds called the Eco Cup. Put that together. And then did another one at Fort Mason City Underground. And so like events and food are kind of like parallel, hand in hand for me. Yeah. So it kind of like, I get tired of one and I do the other and I get tired, it just goes back and forth.
So were you doing this like as a contractor?
I was a producer. I put the whole thing together. I had a money person which actually I met this person by cooking for him Ayurvedic food.
Okay.
To heal his body, which was broken.
Whoa.
And he had like really bad back and accident and whatever. So he had all these, he's a millionaire. So he had all these people come and do all this stuff for him. And I'll come and cook 3 times a day.
So what is the Ayurvedic diet?
So like you have like Vata and Pitta. So like in a nutshell, like food or heats your body or it cools your body, but you are a cool body person or a heated body person. Right. So if you're a heated body person, you want to eat cool stuff. And if you're cool, you want to eat heated. So he was a Pitta, which is a heated body. So I cooked everything that he ate was to cool his body down, not to warm it up.
For example, like
lots of cucumbers and like yogurt and, things like that, but not like tomatoes and peppers, none of that. No meat. Yeah.
Okay, so you cook for him 3 times a day. Was it the same menu?
No, I'll just make him whatever. I'll just go to like Rainbow and just cook whatever I wanted it. And then I keep telling him about like the skateboarding and the music and blah. And he's like, one day he was like, you know what? Here's a couple of $100,000. Go make a festival.
Yeah. And you were like, okay.
Okay.
What was the first step?
Oh, God. First step was to find where we want to do it. So Santa Rosa Fairgrounds is where we chose to do.
Where you chose to do it. Were there any other choices?
We were looking at other places. The thing is, though, is like they were a little further away. So the whole thing, Santa Rosa Fairgrounds is right next to the highway. So I did a mini mega ramp, which is like 50 foot with a 200-foot gap, like huge. So we did a pro skating contest there.
Right.
So I had the ramps right parallel with the highway. So when you're driving by, you see those guys flying hundreds of feet up in the air. Yeah. So that was like the whole thing about,
Yeah. So they could, if they wanted to, they could do tricks onto the highway.
Probably not. Because that would hit the flat, and that would be really shitty. Maybe hit by a car.
Yeah. And so, what companies do you call to build these kind of skate parks?
It's called Dreamland is a good one.
Oh, Dreamland, that's like the famous one.
Yeah. So those are kind of the guys
one
that
in
you
the Midwest.
Yeah. So that was really cool. I had like Bad Brains and Revolution, Michael Franti. There's a few people. And then the City Underground was at Fort Mason. And that one was insane. Arnold Schwarzenegger was the governor at the time. And I decided I wanted to have like 20 tattoo shops tattooing on site, amateur contests, and music. Little did I know that I was doing a festival in a federal building.
Ooh.
With, blood and all. So that was really hard.
Yeah.
But we made it.
Right.
So that was called City Underground.
Were they trying to shut you down during it?
Oh, no, it was all before.
Right.
All before negotiations and all. When they figured it out that that's what we wanted to do, they're like, hell no. And then we explained that tattoo artists, that's what they do for a living. People do tattoo festivals everywhere, conventions, and showed like examples and slowly finagled ourselves in there.
Oh, that's legit. I mean, who else was going to pay them money to do something there?
Yeah.
Like they were. It's not
There's
like
nothing going on for Mason shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Fucking building.
Like, yeah, we need you, please.
Yeah. So the Eagle Cup was inside of the Harmony Festival. Have you ever heard of the Harmony Festival? So I was there for 30 years. A hippie festival. And so my idea for that one was like, not just the hippies need to take care of the earth. So do the underground people. So that's how we took a piece of the Santa Rosa Fairgrounds. They were doing their whole big festival and we took a chunk off of it. So like all the infrastructure was there. The restaurants were there and the security was there. We just took up a space, put the ramp, our stage,
That's legit. Hell yeah.
So it was easier.
So how long did you do that
So
trade?
I did City Underground was the last one. The guy kind of decided that he wanted to spend way more money than he should in general because he got really excited. And so, festivals don't really make that much money.
No, they don't.
Yeah. It's really great and fun.
Yeah. By the time you pay everyone, by the time you...
Yeah. So
that's why they're only once a year.
Yeah. So from there, I work a Little Skillet, which is Farmer Brown thing. Farmer Brown's not there anymore. Remember Farmer Brown?
No.
What?
I was only
Right on the Tenderloin over there.
I came here in 2013.
Okay, so they were still
Napa.
there. And then Little
I lived
Skillet.
in Napa, so
Napa.
I didn't really get the
Right.
San Francisco till now.
Yeah, so it was like brunch and music
Mhm.
and Southern food. And so they had an offshoot called Little Skillet, which is still there now.
Mhm.
It's right by the stadium, hole in the wall. And they got like, don't quote me, but like 27 out of 100 things to eat before you die.
Mm-hmm.
So line around the block. And they were doing Outside Lands Festival. They were so popular that they were cutting the festival in half. So I came in and helped them with that. And we became #1 selling fried chicken and waffles inside of the festival.
Little Skillet.
Yeah, so I really enjoy. Yeah, I really, really enjoy that kind of crazy like that.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people and music and food. And it's kind of like the marriage of everything that I love.
Mm-hmm. And so, did you just keep doing festivals, or?
I did festivals and I did restaurants, and then I got sick of the city, and I moved to Humboldt and became a farmer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Where did you live? Where did you work after Little Skillet?
Oh gosh, there's so many. The New Parkway Theater, do you know the New Parkway Theater? That's in Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool spot. It was like I don't know. I don't think they're there anymore, but it was like a movie theater with couches and tables, and you get full service.
Mm-hmm.
So I did this really cool thing where, like, let's say Lord of the Rings, right? 3 movies. So it'd be like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So you spend all day long in the movie theater.
Oh, wow.
Breakfast,
That's crazy.
lunch, and dinner. And the food was all related to the movie.
Uh-huh.
You know, so that was really
smoked turkey legs and shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it was
That's dope.
really fun. That was really, really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Themed things like that are always cool.
Yeah, because it makes you like not be so bored, you know? I'm doing the same thing. I mean, every single day.
Right. And you're probably going to be at home all day watching TV anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
might as well sit there and be served.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So couches and a table, do they still have that?
I don't know if the New Parkway is still there.
Mm-hmm.
The Godfather was a really fun one because, you know, Italian food,
Mm-hmm.
cannolis and all kinds of good stuff.
Now that you mention that, don't they do that at foreign cinema?
I don't know. I invented in my world. So
Right.
yeah, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. So after you worked there, where'd you work?
Gosh.
And how long were you staying at these places?
A long time.
Right.
Yeah. Like Little Skillet was like at least 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that.
Did you live in the city?
I lived in a city, yeah, in a Mission.
Okay.
Right across the street from 500 Club.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know, I work Zeitgeist too.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, my best friend passed away, Jeff Hoskins, for life. And he was the guy that ran the kitchen there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of got the spatula from him and spent a few years because, man, that tip money was amazing back then.
Yeah.
But I barely remember, you know, because it was like get there at 3, leave at 4 in the morning, sleep until 3, you know.
No life.
Party time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Going really hard.
Really hard.
Yeah, that's the way it is when you're cooking in the cities.
Yeah. And then I became the vendor coordinator for Reggae on the River. That's in Northern California.
Mm-hmm.
So I was managing like 150 vendors in a river bar, including like 27 food vendors. So that was really fun. I did that for a couple of years. You know, so it's kind of a mix. Food is always there, but the production part of it, something that I really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why I like jumping on the plane and going to Alaska into this lodge that just opened for it, right? Like for the season. It was bear season and deer season. So we have to like start it up and feed all these people in the middle of nowhere. That's kind of what I like. I don't see myself ever working in a restaurant again. That's not at least 50% mine.
Right.
But then you have to marry that person in a way.
Yeah,
as you know.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Most times in business, the worst thing is the other people.
Well, yeah.
You know, because like, you know, it'd be easier if you didn't have to deal with anybody.
But the thing is, though, is if you don't deal with anybody, then you were there 100 hours a week forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then you can't trust no one to watch it for you.
You'll never trust anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
So putting applications out there, you know, a guy that's awesome, that is a front of the house guy, has lots of money. Maybe then we could do something. But,
right.
You know, it's kind of like a unicorn.
And how'd you find this job in Alaska?
So it's a lot of it's word of mouth, but there's this really cool website. I don't know if I can say it or not. Can I?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says coolworks.com.
Coolworks.com.
Yeah, so if you guys, anybody out there wants to work like in a national park, for example, or in a lodge in the middle of nowhere, that type of stuff, Coolworks is really great for that.
Right. So you found it on there.
Same thing with Rogue River.
Do you like make yourself a profile?
You don't. You just apply. The craziest part of it is that you find the job that you like. You can be like, I want a job that has housing. I want a job that has a room just for me. I'm not sharing a room. I want a job that this, and the other, right? And then they list the person's phone number and email, and you just send them an email directly. And that's it. Coolworks has nothing to do with that. It's like a Craigslist.
It's just like a bulletin website.
Yeah.
Got it. And what kind of other jobs are on here?
Like national parks, all the national parks are in there. So even if it doesn't have to be a chef, right? Like if you want to be a doorman or you want to
ranger,
not park ranger, because that's like a federal job.
Okay.
But more like if you want to like work as a server or a bartender or clean the rooms, you know, hospitality, more like.
Okay. And you found it there. And then are you on a contract or are you doing this forever now? Is this like going to be
Nothing is forever in my world, David, at the moment. I'm kind of just going with the flow. Those jobs are like, Rogue River was 64 days. Alaska was 50. You know, and in between the two, I did a week in Mount Shasta. That was really fun. That was word of mouth. And so I want to like just go where the wind blows kind of thing. I don't want to contract with anyone. You know, what's next, right? So I'm about to jump on a plane for Finland. You know, so
what are you doing in Finland?
I'm going to Helsinki for 3 months, and I'm going to work at Gran Restaurant, which has 2 Michelin, one of them being a green Michelin, which is pretty rare. I'm just training because I can get that Michelin star training, right? So there's jobs on that website I mentioned that I don't qualify for because, like, for example, jumping on a jet with a very famous person to cook for 2 weeks in Greece. I don't qualify because I don't have the Michelin star training. Right. So I'm going to go get that. But also, really, that's kind of the cherry on top. Chef Tony Costian is who I'm going because of him. I told you I have a podcast, which I only did a season. By the way, podcasts are really hard.
Yeah. What's a season in a podcast world? How many episodes?
That was 10 episodes.
10 episodes.
Yeah, it's called Craft Food.
Got it.
Podcast.
And was it more like edited?
I interview people.
Como así or like?
No, through the computer.
Oh, okay.
Because it was
virtual.
that time virtual.
Got it.
Yeah. And mostly like women, sustainability related, that type of stuff. And I wanted to interview Tony, and he was going to do it. But then something happened and he didn't. And I just went to, Alaska, made a bunch of money, and I was like, hey, I'm ready because I have to pay for everything, right? Because I'm training. So, yeah. So, I had to have the funds to do it. And so just so happened I did. And he said, come on over. And so they are 100% sustainable. So like everything don't come from more than 50 kilometers away, and so they like in the summer, they are preserving and doing all that for the winter because Finland is cold. Really cold, so there's not much going on.
Right.
So they're preserving and, fermenting and all of that back when it's summer and spring. So I want to bring all that sustainability, hopefully, to these wilderness American places. Because, it's not sustainable at all, right? No recycling, no, just everything goes in one single garbage. And
right.
it's not really the focus of those places. So I think that will give me a little bit of a higher up, bigger voice to talk about it.
Heard that. Did you start that sustainability journey recently, or were you always kind of doing that?
Always.
Yeah.
Always kind of doing it. I grew up in a place where sustainability, I mean, I'm sure where you come from too, it's just a lifestyle.
You don't have a choice.
You don't have the choice.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like who I am from the very beginning, and in America, it's kind of like, it's harder for people to think of sustainability a lot of the times, I think, because convenience is the enemy of sustainability. Might as well just open another plastic bottle.
Right.
Instead of buy a thing that then, filter that goes in your fridge, that then you have to fill up your metal thing. So hard. So then you don't do it. Right. So, yeah. So I grew up with a grandmother that was an herbalist. So she taught me a lot about how to use herbs, how to recycle. She will cook in a way where she'll be like, like we already had purple stuff this week. Like, let's have some green stuff and some orange stuff. Eat with the rainbow kind of thing. But it was just what her mother and her grandmother taught her specifically. We're sick. She would like boil some bones out of some chicken somewhere and make us drink it, and things like that. So, and then when I became a farmer in Northern California, so much waste there. And I learned about Korean natural farming. Have you heard of that before?
No, what's that?
Oh, so much fun. It's like a rabbit hole. So it's like imitating what the forest does.
Okay.
There's nobody in the forest. There's no human in the forest going like, oh, you need some nitrogen.
Right.
Let me go buy a bag and dump it. The forest is doing
They're
that.
just doing it, yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what the concept is. And so I became a teacher for that. And so, like, the easiest way to explain it is like, in most people's houses, for the plants that you have in your house, you have everything that you need. So you have the coffee grounds from your coffee. You dry that up, just let it out in a brown bag. That's nitrogen, right? So then you have your eggshells that you have to pass through your oven because of salmonella and all of that.
Okay.
Dry that up, make it into a powder. Mix it up with a little vinegar, white vinegar and water, and that's calcium for your plants. And then banana peels, same thing. You mix that with brown sugar and water, and that's phosphorus, which makes things flour. So that's the concept. So I did things like going to a oyster bar and getting a truckload of oysters, taking it to a driveway, dumping it, tarp over it, run with the truck, make a powder, and then make a tea out of that and feeding the plants with it.
Right.
So not necessarily. So that's the sustainability part of it.
You're crushing oyster shells with a truck?
Yeah.
How much oyster shells is this?
Like a lot.
Yeah.
Like a truckload of it.
Jesus.
Yeah. Lots of plants.
And what's this restaurant thinking?
They were an oyster bar, so they had a mountain of oyster shells in the back.
Yeah.
That just got taken away into the landfill.
Okay.
So
you're like, let's do something with this.
Yeah. So when I cook, is the same thing. It's all about like seasonality. People are like, oh, the question you always get, right, as a chef, what do you like to cook the most? Like, what's your favorite thing to cook? For me, it's like what's available today. Like the earth is really smart and it gives you certain things at certain times of the year because that's what your body needs. So I like to cook with seasonal things, sustainable things that just grew close to you, not like raspberries in New York in the winter.
Right.
That shit traveled 3,000 miles away, all the way from Peru. It's all green and shit.
Yeah.
Empty calories. And you're like, oh, look at me so fancy.
Right. Look at me eating healthy.
Yeah, but you're not.
Nope.
And the thing is that the chef is the teacher of the consumer of what's good and what's cool to eat.
Yeah.
So when, these people, it's their 40th anniversary and they go to this fancy restaurant and they were having this, raspberry dessert in the middle of the winter, and they go home, next time they go to the grocery store and they see a raspberry, they're going to buy it because they want to feel fancy at home. And you're perpetuating that non-sustainable way of living, which, we're not going to be able to have enough food that way.
Right.
we all gotta eat every day.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't figured out how not to eat yet.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, people are now fasting.
yeah, but at some point you gotta eat.
That is,
A breatharian.
yeah, you say people out here like I fasted for 7 days. I'm like, good for you. I don't think I'll ever do
Yeah,
that.
7 days a lot. I fast for like 16 hours a day.
Yeah, I'll do one day.
Like a meal.
1 or 2
I like to
days.
do a meal a day, middle of the day, and that's it. My body runs really well on that. But I couldn't do 7 days. No, I mean, if I could like lay on a couch and sip water and just try to wait, maybe you could do it. But like in this lifestyle, it's like I'll pass out.
Yeah.
Can't move around when you're not eating for 7 days. Pretty sure.
Crazy. So how long did you farm for up there in Humboldt?
Gosh, I was there for 6 years.
Uh-huh.
And I work a couple of restaurants there, and then the Regular River thing. Because I I can't be away from the line long enough. If it's too long, I start getting jittery, and I need to get back to the line.
You need the
Crazy
the rush,
people like us, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I can do it for a little bit, and at some point, I'm like, okay, I need to go back. So I would do the farming season, and then I work a restaurant in the downtime. It was like a French restaurant called Cecil's. It's not there anymore. Still, again, it's restaurants are hard. It's a hard business. Yeah. Most of them close.
Things come and go.
Yeah.
And a lot of restaurants now that have been closing in the last year have been like 100 years, open for 100 years.
Yeah.
We're not going to see that anymore.
We're not going to see those anymore. No.
But I'm like, that's kind of okay. I'm okay with that. I think it's cool if you could open a new concept every 7 years.
That would be great.
Yeah. Because then you never get bored.
Never get bored.
Yeah. Sit there, do the concept.
Same menu every day, all the time.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's boring.
I mean, every restaurant should have a summer and a winter minimum menu or a spring and fall menu, right? Because, I mean, it's such a different landscape of what you can buy that is actually cheaper and available, and all of that. So
sad, unfortunately, a lot of restaurants that are really successful don't do that.
They don't.
No.
Yeah, because we're as a chef, a lot of us are not really thinking about sustainability. I mean, don't get me started on a sous vide bags. Like what?
That's a waste.
Because you can't figure it out to cook the meat. Like, come on, bro. You have famous people out there talking about, oh yeah, sous vide is here to stay. Like, you're cooking meat or anything inside of a plastic bag.
Yeah.
In general, not just a sustainability of throwing that bag. How many bags in your restaurant? How many times you make, right? Like hundreds.
Most of those restaurants too, you're only putting the meat in there for like 10 minutes.
Really?
Like I worked in a place where you would like poach the meat, butcher it off the bone, put it in a bag, cryovac it, have it for service, proceed to drop it in the water and just to open it.
Ugh, kill me
like
now.
Every night.
And then you also have all the leaching of the plastic into the food. Like there's no research. I mean, if you search what is plastic made out of, it's a rabbit hole in itself because you cannot find an answer. Like they have that stuff locked key. There's no studies about putting plastic in microwaves and heating them up and things like that. What is leaching that's going into our body? They're like, oh, we don't talk about that. It's cool. So there's all that. So yeah,
like
I think we need
glass or nothing.
Glass or nothing. I mean, and recycling too is really important. Like I love like tortilla bags. I mean, I love tortillas. As a Brazilian, I was robbed by the way of tortillas my whole childhood. We ate rice and beans, no tortilla in sight.
No.
So rude.
Lo mismo en Puerto Rico.
No, también no?
No, same, yeah.
Wow. Like what? Why? There's corn.
Yeah.
So I love a tortilla. And those little Ziploc tortilla bags are the best. So I just save those all. And like my cheese is on that. If I need to save like some crackers, they go on that. Recycling. Reusing things, that you can't get away. Like bread bags and all of those. Like I reuse reuse all of those,
Mm-hmm.
even in a commercial setting.
Well, now a lot of the clothes that's being made, the new age clothes, it's like the cool thing to do is use reusable.
Right.
And so I'm glad that it's the cool thing to do to recycle.
In clothing, yeah,
Yeah.
they're starting to figure it out because there's like mountains of clothing in like Pakistan and India. I mean, there's so much. I would say all of you should stop buying brand new clothes. There's enough clothes out there. They're actually cooler and better in thrift stores all over. You know?
Linen.
Linen, yeah. Cotton, linen.
That's where it's at. Linen.
Wool.
Yeah. Linen doesn't get respect out here
Really?
like it does in other cultures. I mean, you never really see people out here wearing linen.
Because it's not hot enough. People don't sweat.
Right.
Linen's for sweating. You know? Because when you're sweating all day, like in Hawaii, linen just flows and it dries you up. Like, linen is good.
Okay, that's good. Then.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So people don't wear linen for the cold.
I think so, yeah. It's more like a wool culture, I would hope.
Flannel.
Yeah, not synthetic.
But is flannel wool?
Depends. It should be. But depending on the store you go to, if you go to Walmart or Target,
Is
any of
flannel
those,
just cotton? Is it just
it
a
could
different
be.
way of
it could be
them
cotton.
combing it or whatever?
Yeah, it could be cotton, but it could be polyester. It depends of where you're shopping, right?
Polyesters.
Oof.
That's a crime.
We're drinking that every day,
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah.
Eating it on our shrimp.
Yeah.
The ocean is filled with it, you know.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Because what happens is you wash your polyester clothing and that water goes down into the drain and into the ocean.
So polyester is a problem.
Yeah,
We got polyester problems.
most definitely.
Because I was reading that if you have polyester furniture, it's not good for you.
No, I mean, most bedding in America are made of polyester. I sleep on a wool pillow because that polyester are not like that foamy thing that American pillows are made of. Like
the Tempur-Pedic?
Yeah, but that's the more expensive kind. Still plastic, but
the memory foam.
Yeah, before that, like the regular pillow, if you go to like a hotel room or whatever, you lay your head and it's kind of like a fluff.
Right.
That is like synthetic fiber in there, you know, and everything's made out of polyester. Most sheets, all of that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Those get washed every single day in hotels and all of that.
What made you, when you think about Humboldt, what made you leave Humboldt? That place is so beautiful.
So I got married again.
Married again?
I know, and divorced.
Well, I'll ask you.
It's a COVID marriage.
Why get married again? Is it like a religious thing?
I think I'm a recovery Catholic, you know?
Okay.
So like...
Feel guilty?
No, I think it was more... hell no. I feel like it's more like his dad got cancer, Washington. That's when I went to the 80-acre farm. And we were going to go take care of him. And I was like, shit, if I'm going to go move my whole life all the way to Washington, middle of nowhere, I mean, we might as well be married.
Right.
So then I'm not like, when we're done, he's like, thank you for your service. See you later. High five. Because it will happen.
If I'm doing with this, you're stuck with me.
Well, at least to the point where we will divide what we put together. Yeah. So I just got divorced again. Yeah. So
you just got divorced again.
Yeah, not very long ago.
Okay. And so was it as bad as the first divorce?
Oh no, not at all.
Was it just like
It was just like, yeah.
Was it his second marriage too?
No, first.
His first.
Yeah, my second.
So it hit him harder.
He was the one cheating, so I don't know.
Okay.
I think he got somebody else in there. It's cool.
Right.
Kind of like.
And you were like, expected it.
Yeah, I stopped drinking. He continued, you know. So then it went to the bar, found a drinking person. I mean, that's simple. And it's crazy because like, I know the kids like to call it like jumping a timeline these days. You hear that all the time. Like, I'm jumping a timeline. I literally experienced that because I was unhappy in the middle of nowhere. There's no restaurants where I was at. So I was like, you know, food and nutrition manager at a hospital. So at least I could work with food kind of thing. and unhappy. And so that just happened. And I was like, okay, cool, I'm out. And then here I am.
So it was a blessing.
It was a blessing.
It was
not in disguise.
Would you say it was the best divorce of your life?
It was the best divorce of my life, David. It really was.
Would you get married again?
Fuck no.
Okay.
I am now consider myself what I heard, because you get to learn those things at Tinder, right? Mm-hmm. Lots of things you don't know you learn in Tinder. And apparently what I am now is a solo poly.
A solo poly.
Yes.
What does that mean?
That means that I can love many people, but I love myself first. Because I'm the kind that fall in love with you, not you, to your lady and all, but fall in love with you. And I'm like, let's go.
Right.
And I'll deviate out of my everything and end up in some little town in Washington. Then I blink, wake up, and oh shit, what am I doing again?
So you love too hard.
Too hard. So now I'm going to love not just one, but many. But love myself first and not let my train that I'm taking, where I'm going, it's not going to deviate ever again.
No matter what.
No matter what.
Damn, that's crazy. It's 2 marriages. Because I always question, I've never been married, so I'm like, if you get married one time and it doesn't work out, like, why even
do it again?
Did you have like a big ceremony?
The first one was like just go to the courthouse kind of thing.
Okay.
The second one is actually a marriage.
Okay, because you're like, if I'm going to do this for a second time.
And if my family is going to come all the way from Brazil, which is at the bottom of Brazil, so you have to go, all the way up and then all the way across America, we're going to have more than just a barbecue.
Damn right.
Yeah.
So, no kids with this other person?
Oh, no.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, one child. I did it natural. Took me 3 days to push him out.
Damn.
Never again. Yeah.
You're like, that's it.
Yeah. Epidural is what makes women have a bunch of children, I think.
What do you mean?
Like, when you take the shot.
Yeah.
And then you can't feel nothing. You're like, that was easy. I can have more.
Really?
That's how, that's just my theory.
That's a good point.
That was gnarly.
Right.
What goes in must come out. You know what I'm saying? No, thank you.
That's crazy.
And there's so many people in this world. I don't need to make more children. You can just go adopt one.
Like you said, there's already, all that clothes. You don't need to buy new clothes.
You don't need to buy new clothes. You don't need to make a new baby. You can just go buy one.
Exactly. You're thrifting for babies.
Drifting for babies. Probably in Brazil if I was going to thrift for a baby.
Should be a thing, It is a thing.
It is.
I know it's got to be.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Definitely.
Although the wrong people, I think, are benefiting from it.
Which is sad.
Yeah.
I would wish there was a way for loving couples of any kind to be able to have a baby. But it's like, if you don't make this certain amount of money, if you don't this and if you don't that, then you don't qualify or whatever,
So when you were living on that farm and your divorce happens and all that, what's your first move?
First move was to get the hell out of there. Right. Got out of there. And then came the job in Rogue River and in Alaska.
Were you looking during this time?
Yeah, because we had a farm in the house. So then at that point, he was there and I was here. And you know how you can feel it, right? Like, when the person is not in anymore, right? So I already knew. So I started looking for my exit plan. And here we are.
Okay, so you take this job. What's living in Alaska like?
It was wild. I saw like the Northern Lights.
Yeah.
It was insane. Like by myself, 4:45 in the morning, miserable, waking up that early to make breakfast. Go outside, and there it was, and it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
What is it like?
It's like a pulse, like a big pulse in the sky that goes vroom, 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 in different
it's
colors.
actually like moving.
Yeah, I never knew that. Never really understood that by the pictures or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was like a shot here and then a big shot here, and then over here it would become like purple and green. And that second there, I was like, wait, is that really the Northern Lights, or are they taking me away? Because if they are, I'm ready.
Right.
Let's go.
The aliens are here.
Take me, sir.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That was crazy.
Is there
like to-
wildlife out there?
Lots of wildlife. I like to hunt. So I did a little tiny bit of that. I mean, 14 hours a day, you know, I could only sleep like 5 hours a night. So I'll cook breakfast, sleep 3 hours, and then cook lunch, dinner, sleep 5. And that's pretty much all I did, really. It's a beautiful, Kodiak Island is beautiful. It's like not in a continent, so it's warmer. I mean, the grass was green until like the 10th of December.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it never got below like 32 degrees, 31 degrees. Yeah, so it's really, really pretty. It like faces Seattle, you know, so.
Is it pretty dry there, or is it like
it's wet?
Rainy weather?
It's just wet in general. Not necessarily rainy. There was some rain, but it's just, you know, luscious.
Like humid but cold?
Humid but cold.
Whoa.
Yeah, strange, huh? Because I love humid.
How does it affect like your skin?
My skin loved it.
Yeah.
I love humid, period. Any humid climate is where I want to be.
Do you love the islands?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like any kind of warm, humid, it's like where my body thrives the most. Like dry and cold, like I literally start shocking everything. I get shock everywhere. My hair is like fuzzed out, and I'm just kind of allergic to that.
Damn. So where do you want to live now?
I don't know.
Is that what you're kind of trying to figure out?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not even in a hurry because I'm going to go. So I'm going to go to Finland, Helsinki for 3 months. And then from there, I have 3 goddaughters in the Big Island. So I think I'm going to go defrost my Brazilian body in the Big Island for a month. And then who knows? I mean, if somebody offers me a job in Europe, I'll probably stay in Europe for a while.
All right.
Come back, sell my car, get my stuff in order, and then go back. I'm getting a tour of Noma in Copenhagen. So my son's gonna meet me there on the 7th. And I'm gonna kind of tour Noma, which is like a dream.
How'd you arrange that?
You know, I am Brazilian. I can get things done.
You can get some people.
Yeah. So the way it happened is I kind of saw that they were looking for a chef de partie. Send them my resume, which I knew they weren't going to hire me. You know, I was in location in Alaska and then gone for 3 months. I wrote that in there. But they looked at my resume. Now I'm someone that they know who I am because they actually went through my resume. So the head chef is actually from Peru, I think, or Chile. And so I sent him on Instagram, hey, chef, I, applied for the job. And he was like, cool, we'll check it out. A couple of months later, I'm like, I know I didn't get it, but I'm coming to be a Gron and I'm going to be in Copenhagen. Was I already going to be in Copenhagen? Not really. But I was like, I'm going to be in Copenhagen, Yeah. I as a chef, can't afford to eat in Noma specifically, but could I get like a tour? And he responded and said, yeah, totally.
Damn.
So here I go.
So who did you talk to? The chef?
Pablo, yeah.
Oh.
He's a head chef, yeah.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah, so I get it's their last year.
No more Noma.
Well, in a different way. They're going to continue to travel the world, do pop-ups and do like lots of like just testing flavors and all of that. They've been there for a long time. It's like 20 years maybe, 20-some years, Renee is an amazing visionary. So it's all about like creating new flavors. And so they just got back from Kyoto and did a whole thing there, did a book. So I'm just going to hopefully take a tour and be like, man, I'll scrub your floors.
Right.
Take
just
me
to
maybe
learn.
for the last year of Noma. Please take me, sir. I will do it.
That would be dope.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
So yeah, just putting it out there on the
there's a lot of places like Mugaritz you could go.
Mugaritz would be great.
A lot of places that still allow the staging for knowledge.
Right.
Because here in the United States now it's hard to stage.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, well, we got to pay you. And it's like, well, don't pay me.
Right.
I just want to learn.
I don't know if there's a place in America I would actually not work for free, to tell you the truth. 18 years of my career, there's not that many places I would actually work to stage.
Yeah.
Noma being one, Gran being another, but that's so I can get that specific thing. The Michelin star training and the sustainability, like actually working on a restaurant that is fully sustainable. At that high level is what I want to understand how he even does it. And in Finland, where it's cold.
Yeah.
You know, there's not like strawberries growing on the grass. You know what I mean?
When you have no choice like that, it's definitely, you think it's more difficult because you're looking at it from an American lens.
Right.
But I think just because they're there, they're like, that's what we got.
That's what we got. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited. And who knows? I'm kind of leaving it out there. Like, I feel like I've been like saying, you know, universe, like, take me to my highest potential, like my highest potential I can have on this life. I'm ready. But then I'm making plans 8 months from now. And the universe is like, how the hell can I put you where it's supposed to go if you're making plans way ahead of anything?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just kind of leaving it out there. We'll see.
Yeah, well, you got to enjoy the day to day.
Yeah. The power of now.
Because that's what's important, you know. Even though the future, yes.
But doesn't exist though. Neither does the past, right? Really, all it exists is right now.
Right now.
Right now, me and you right here, literally, is all that exists.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I leave that door, get into my car, is all that exists.
Right.
So being present is what I'm working. My brain goes a million miles an hour at every direction.
Mm-hmm.
So I read this book called The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle, and he talks about that, how there's not one or the other. Really, all there is that now. And if you sit on the now, thinking of this one, the past or the present, you or the future, you know, you're kind of just in a dreamland.
Mm-hmm.
But your life's actually passing in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, you know, anytime that you're like, catch yourself going, and then in 8 months I'm going to, and you look at something from nature and you go like, oh, there's a tree or a rock. And then you stop your monkey brain from going on that speed. And then it goes back and I'm like, oh shit, that's right. I'm right here. Look at that pretty tree. This is beautiful. I'm chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I'm okay. Everything is okay.
Everything is okay. Everything is great. Just sold my house, you know, got some money in the bank. I'm chilling. I don't need anything. I'm not a consumist in general.
Mm-hmm.
I just got rid of everything. I have literally my Hawaiian suitcase, my Finland suitcase, and my cars in Humboldt with like some stuff, like some paintings from friends and some knickknacks and photos and whatever. And that's that. I feel great.
So how do you get around?
Well, right now I left the car there. A friend come pick me up, and then I jump on a plane to Finland for 3 months.
Mm-hmm. You don't need a car over there?
Well, I definitely not driving my car to Finland.
Well, I have to say that, but I'm saying when you're over there, do they give you a car?
No, public transportation. My apartment is like 10 minutes from Gran.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna work 50 hours a week, have 2 days off.
Mm-hmm.
And, 2 days of sauna, because that's what they do out there. Big sauna houses.
That's what they do in Finland?
Yeah, lots of sauna houses. People go hang out.
Because it's so cold?
Yeah.
So, like, they go drink over there?
I'm not
like
sure if there's drinking in the sauna house.
Or is it more like Japan, where it's like
just go, I don't know. I don't know how serious it is. I'll report back.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
I love a bath.
Back. Yeah, same.
Good hot springs,
hot tub and
sulfur springs.
Hot springs are my favorite.
Yeah.
I just went to, right before I went to, in between Rogue River and Alaska, I had 18 days. And so I did a mini road trip for hot springs. And then I did like a rock hounding because I'm a forager in general. I forage medicinal plants, mushrooms, rocks, everything you can think of. So I went on like a rock hounding thing and crystal crane in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, so worth it. It's really not that far from here.
Crystal crane.
Hot springs.
Okay.
So beautiful.
What kind of, what's going on?
It just has pools and stuff, has a big pool, but it's like in the middle of nowhere in Burns, Oregon, I think it is. But the water is like amazing. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like soft. It makes you all like cozy and like it's really hot. And
you go to
like,
sleep.
Oh man, so good.
Yeah, I don't like, one time I went to a hot spring in Palm Springs. Or no, in Wyoming. And was not good. The water was not hot.
Yeah, no, thank
like,
you.
What the fuck?
It's
like if I just wanted a lukewarm
bath,
shower,
you just do it at home.
Yeah, exactly. I left the hotel. I was like, this is not
Did
good.
you? Yeah, no, I want it hot. I want like 109.
Yeah.
103, you know? Then you go to the 109 and you go to 103 and it feels kind of cold,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Little shower, cold shower back in there.
Mm-hmm. Go in the sauna.
Go in the
Come out.
sauna, come
The
out.
best ones are when they're snowing out.
Mm.
When it's snowing out, and then you get the really hot bath like that.
Yeah, Crystal Crane is snowing right now for sure because it's cold up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are the pools outside?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
super nice.
Snow while you're on the big pool.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is it nude?
Not nude.
Okay, got you. There's one in the north that's nude. That's the one I went to.
Which one?
Sierra.
Called. Sierra.
Yeah.
I never been.
Next to it's like 20 minutes from Reno.
Oh. Have you been to ORR? ORR? That is in Mendocino right there. And that is no clothes. But it is so nice. They have like clawfoot tubs at the top, stars, and you fill it up yourself and you scrub it when you come out. And you can just lay on those, and they have a pool and a couple of jacuzzis and like a beautiful communal kitchen. Everybody cooks together. It's really fun. No cell phones because there's no reception. ORR.
ORR.
Or hot springs.
That's dope. I like the no reception thing.
Yeah, me too.
I'm starting to get into that a little bit more.
Force you to do it.
That's the way I got to do it things. I got to be forced to do it.
So maybe you do need to get married.
Yeah. What things does a man get forced to do when he's married?
Like put the toilet seat down, pick up his socks, you know, make sure that there's bills are paid.
Be a human being.
Yeah, put clean clothes on when you go out. You know, be like a civilized.
I always think about this because I think that like being single is fine, but also having a partner is good because it's almost like even if the relationship doesn't work out, because let's be honest, most relationships don't work out these days. It's a good time and a place where you're with that person.
Yeah.
You get what you needed from them, you know, and
no regrets.
You're not using them. No. You know, it's just what it is.
Well, you're living together. You know,
yeah.
So you're using each other in a way, in a good way. Hopefully bringing out the best of you and the best of her or him or whatever, right? So, yeah, I mean, we're not lonely kind of animals, you know. We're like hang out in crowds and we want to be social, you know, otherwise we wouldn't have as many of us.
It's true.
Yeah.
Are you still skateboarding?
I push around. So when I was 30, I compound fracture. I was bombing a hill in San Francisco, compound fracture my ankle really bad. Like bad. I still have all the hardware. It's pretty bad. So and I was, you know, single mom, working in a restaurant. I realized that I need legs to work. And so that's kind of, now I just watch my kid skate.
Got it.
He's a great skater.
So you stay off the board. Is he professional?
He's trying to be.
Okay.
He's now a model too.
Yeah, I saw he was doing a shoot.
He actually walked.
What was that for?
That was for Louis Vuitton in Hong Kong.
So how does he become a model?
So he was at a skate contest in Prague, and Jazz Daly is a friend of his dad because his dad was judging the contest too up there. And she saw him a couple of years ago, and I was like, Julian, oh my God, he's so beautiful. You should be a model. And that was the process started then. And so it took a couple of years to get him ready.
What did he do?
Well, like
training,
yeah.
Like how?
Well, she was like, he would take photos of himself and send it to her, and she'll show it to people. But she was still young then. She was kind of prepping the market for him somehow. And then when he turned 20, he went to New York. It's an agency called Society in New York, and he went up there and he did his first photo shoot with a couple of photographers, and then like professional shoot. And then from there, that's how he got the job at Louis Vuitton with Pharrell Williams, which is sick.
So he's working for Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, he walked the fashion, the winter man.
So as a model, when you're not modeling, what do you do?
Skateboard. He also works for the Giants.
What does he do for the Giants?
He's like a runner at the super high level box up there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just hustling.
Hustling. He's a hustler. Yeah.
Oh, he's going to make it. Seems
yeah,
like,
he's going to make it. He's definitely going to make it.
Would modeling just fund the skateboarding? Is skateboarding
It's
really what he wants to do?
Yeah.
Got
That's how
it.
he sees it.
Mm-hmm.
So then he can, get a job that will pay enough so then he can go skating.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a true skateboarder, so like everything circles around skateboarding. He's like, I'll meet you in Copenhagen. He's like, I already found like this guy skating and there's like this park, so you go anywhere around the world and what you do is you're skating.
Mm-hmm.
Did you went to the museum? Not really,
We were just skating.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
So how does he do all this? Is it just through his dad?
Through skateboarding. I mean, I got with his dad. Literally, the way I see it was to make this baby.
Mm-hmm.
That is
my mom says that about my dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, right?
After a while, she's like, I think we were only together to make you.
Yeah, that's how it feels. And so when he was like a year old, he would be like riding on the board around the house like a little monkey on it. So he's been skating since before he could walk.
Mm-hmm.
And he's really, 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 really good. But these days, I mean, most kids are so good and so many. That's why I think that the combination of modeling and skating will give him like a upper, on people. And being his dad's son, people know who his dad is, so that kind of helps him a little.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If somebody has a chance, he has one.
Right.
I think.
Damn right.
And then he goes to Hawaii because his dad is in Hawaii. So he jumps on a plane, go to Hawaii, and he does like 4 surf lessons a day and makes some money. And so he's a hustler.
Also, he's teaching the surfing.
Yeah, he goes and teaches surfing in Hawaii when he can.
Got it. Do you surf?
I was more like a boogie boarder back in the day. Like rolls and like 360s and, that whole story.
Nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy. Yeah.
Because it's pretty crazy out there.
I love the ocean. I don't mind the ocean at all. I love to be like, I'm a free diver and, I got to like 70 feet.
Really?
Yeah.
Free diving?
Yeah.
How long do you hold your breath?
For 70 feet, whatever that long that is.
Jesus Christ.
It's a strange thing.
How do you know that you can't go anymore? Like, because you still have breath, right? Because you got to get back up.
Yeah. So, when you start feeling like a little weird, right? Like, it's a crazy thing because when you practice.
Yeah.
So when you're like, if you take a deep breath and you let it all out, there's this space that you exist there. Mm-hmm. And you're like, it's a very calm place to be in. And you can be in that space for a long time. And so like, when you're down there, it's so chill that like, I don't know, you kind of don't need to breathe for a while. It's a strange, you just have to experience to actually understand it.
And then when you're going down, because I've been down like to the bottom of a 14-foot pool, and the pressure, you could feel it in your
well, yeah,
ears.
because that can blow up your eardrum. So like if I do it because I did it so much, I do about every 5 feet. You just blow your nose and you pop the pressure out. Okay. And you go another 5 feet and you pop the pressure out.
That's the answer. You just keep doing that.
Yeah. You got to keep popping the pressure out. Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Not on the way up. The way up, you can go all the way up. But on the way down, every 5-6 feet, start feeling the headache. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's your brains wants to explode because of the pressure of the water on top of you.
Right.
So you have to like depressurize.
And are you wearing goggles? Like, what's your outfit?
No goggles, no anything.
No goggles.
Mm-mm.
Just straight.
The ocean in Hawaii is really clear.
Okay. What are you seeing down there? Wildlife.
Fuck, everything.
Yeah.
Sharks, reef sharks. Those are my favorite because they're not super aggressive, Lots of reef sharks, lots of octopuses and fishes and turtles.
Do any of them curious that you're there?
Not really. I think the most curious would be an octopus.
Because they're smart.
Really smart. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah. No, I haven't seen. It's a documentary, right?
Yeah, like my teacher, the octopus, my teacher, something about a teacher and an octopus. It's an amazing movie.
I'll check it out.
You should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Mm-hmm.
And so what inspired this free diving?
Okay, so I worked on my in-laws' boat there. They have like a sailing boat that do like snorkeling trips.
Uh-huh.
And so we had a couple of places that we would anchor so people could go snorkeling. And depending on the weather and the wind and whatever, sometimes we had to like be right outside of the harbor. So, you know, you pay your trip, you go like right outside the harbor and you snorkel right there. But that was a hook on the bottom of the ocean. And that was about 35 feet or something like that. So I had with the boat, because being, you know, we weren't like using a motor, right? So it's just the wind. So I'm
Yeah.
at the very front of the boat with what is that in English? Gosh, what is that word? Like a hook,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with the hook. And so I would have to, the boat's coming, the things in the bottom of the ocean, I had to jump from the front. That I had fins then, and I had to jump all the way down there and pass the hook under it to hook the boat. And if it took me a couple of times, the tips were going down every time we had to turn around and try again. So I practiced.
Right.
And the more I practiced, the further I could go. So that's how I started.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got hooked on free diving. So much fun.
Mm-hmm. And so what is, because like for example, for like skydiving, you know you're going to get on a plane and go up and jump and see whatever. When you're free diving, are you like, is there free diving spots that you're going to? Like, oh, this spot's good for free diving. Or
yeah,
is
like
it just
abalone.
like,
I will go look for abalone shells. Abalone. But no, it was more like being down there with not breathing. It's hard to explain. It's like a peaceful feeling that you don't get anywhere else. Very quiet. And, you know, it's like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. You have to just be down there.
Woo!
Yeah. We used to do it with rocks, like big giant rock, and just let the rock sink us down.
Right. I bet that's the easiest way, huh?
Yeah.
So you don't have to swim down?
Yeah.
Damn. That's a good way of doing it.
Yeah.
And how many are you going?
How many?
Yeah, how many people? Just you, or did you have, is it a group?
Oh, I had friends that did it, but I would go by myself. I mean, Julian was raised on the beach, you know, so he would be like on a sand. I'd be like, I'm going to go free dive for a minute, be back. Just pass over the waves and go free dive and come back up and eat lunch. Sweet, sweet, sweet island life. Living.
Yeah. That's super dope.
Slow pace.
Yeah.
Lots of swimming. Hot.
Why'd you leave that?
I got divorced. It's a very small island for 2 people.
Oh, got you. Everyone's in your business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was out. I was ready to make, you know, I'm on this road to something that I don't know what it is, but it's coming and I'm getting closer to it. But all the story I told you is all to get to where I'm going. Not sure where it is, what it is. Don't really debate on really figuring out what it is, but it calls me and I know I'm going the right direction now. Deviated a couple times, but now I'm going the right way.
Do you ever have the thought that you've wasted time or?
No. No, because it makes who I am today, right?
Right.
If I haven't met this person and lived here and made this, I wouldn't done this and that and the other. I don't believe in coincidences and nothing like that. I'm more like of the
it's all for a reason.
All for a reason, pre-made plans that we make ourselves before we come in, kind of thing. So, you know, I made a plan and I deviate with my monkey brain sometimes, but if I really focus, take a deep breath, I'm going the right direction.
Most of us are.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I asked the world, I asked the universe, like, is evil necessary? You know, because of that. Because like some people, they are born and they suffer from the day they're born to the day they die. And it's like, is that necessary for other people to have a good life?
I don't know. Like for me, for example, like how is it, if I were to think on that way, right? How is it okay that my mother died when I was 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And then my grandfather got run over by a car. And I think that is what jumped me out of Catholicism, because I'm like, it doesn't make sense, because I've been a good girl at 4 years old for sure. Right? There's no doubt. So I went more towards the spiritual world to try to understand. And I think when I did that, I kind of understood that is like, that's what's gonna make me be who I am. And you can suffer and have something bad happen to you, and then you can look at it as from the bad side, and you can continue to go on that, or you can be like, you know what, this happened, I'm gonna like do good to the world. Even then, I'm gonna go on a path that's gonna, you know what I mean, like look in a positive side even on the worst times. And I think that's the resiliency that whatever is out there wants for us to have, to start looking towards the good. You know, like just got divorced again. I was like, you know what? Who cares? It's all good. I didn't try to fight for the farm. I didn't try to this or the other. I was out in school. I kept the house, kept the farm. I could have went in a battle, but I was like, it's not mine. You were born and raised there. It's cool. I don't need it, you know? And so here I am, going more towards the direction of the good. So when I hear negativity and all of that kind of stuff, I kind of turn to the other direction and I go the other way. You know, I don't like faster on that. So if you're a negative person, you probably don't hang out with me very often. That's what it comes down to.
Right. Well, it's hard. You know, you just hear somebody talk about how hard their life is, or how good someone else has it. That's the worst.
That is the worst way to look at it. It's the worst way to look at it.
Yeah.
It really is.
But there's a lot of jealousy out there.
Because then you sit on that, you faster a hole for yourself. And then you pad your wounds and you feel sorry for yourself on it. Because you know what I'm talking about. I come from a place where like this woman had like 8 children, all different dads. They all had like syphilis and whatever. They're poor, the happiest people I've ever met. Chilling, happy all the time, you know? So it doesn't take things.
Right.
And having like somebody else has it. It's more like a state of mind. You know, like you woke up and you hit your toe and then you're pissed off, you get in your car and you're screaming at the guy in front of you and all the red lights are, you know, the lights are red and blah, blah. You're proliferating that into your life until you decide that you're like, you know what, I'm done. Everything's better now. And then you start seeing the sunshine again. You make that choice every day.
Right.
So you can choose to see half full or half empty.
I think some people's love language is being negative. You know, and I don't think that they see it as being negative. I think they're just like, well, this is the way I am.
Right.
I think that there's couples that are like that.
I know.
Couples that fight all the time, and from the outside looking in, you're like, why are they fighting all the time? But that's just how they express their love. Yeah, that's their love language.
I love you enough to fight with you.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking terrible.
I know can do.
But that's the way it is, you know? And it's like, it seems bad in the moment, but then if you were to take one person away from the other one, they'd be like, no.
No, that's my guy. Yeah.
So it's just weird how people, you know.
Because, you know, a negative person needs to find another negative person to be able to actually create that and live in that world. So they need that person to actually exist that way. That's why they're so important to each other in a way, you know.
Damn right.
Like if we're driving in a city, and like yesterday I went to one of my favorite restaurants in the city, me and Julian, and we're driving, and you know, he's 21, so I'm still teaching the guy, you know, and so we're driving, and it was like, we're not gonna find it, like there's not gonna be any parking. And I told him, I said, you know, we haven't yet got there, so we right now have the choice to be like, shit, we're gonna get there and our parking is gonna be right there, it's going to be awesome. And if we get there and there's no parking, then we'll continue to look for parking. But until I have the choice of wondering, I rather wonder on a positive side instead of the negative side. So that's how I do it. You know, I don't know,
it's a good way to do it.
Yeah, half full, not empty.
Yeah. Did you find the parking spot?
Yeah.
Boom.
Exactly.
There you go.
That's what I'm saying.
That anxiety, man. Like you're scared of some shit that's not even
there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, most of it's a figment of your imagination.
Really?
Even what people are thinking about you, because they're not.
Because
they're not thinking about you.
In Brazil, we like to say that your belly button is not the center of the universe. But you do feel like it is. Like these people are like thinking of me, and these people are like, and they think that it's like, actually they don't.
Yeah.
They're thinking about themselves. Just like you are thinking about yourself, they are thinking about themselves. Mm-hmm. Like I don't really care what people think about me, to tell you the truth. I know I'm not for everybody, and that's great. Because if I was for everybody, it would be a really busy life.
Yeah.
I like to have like quality time with people. And so I choose my people wisely.
That means a lot. Because I think I do that with this show.
Good.
And I've had my experiences with booking the show because maybe I read about the person and they seemed interesting. Mm-hmm. And then I go talk to them, and it's not that they're not interesting. It's that they weren't the person I thought they were going to be. Mm-hmm. Not for like a good or a bad way.
Right.
It just isn't. And so that taught me to be like, oh man, you can't
force it.
Yeah. No one is even their bio.
Oh yeah.
Like you can write a bio, resume. No one is a resume. No one is a bio.
No.
Like,
because you have the camera and you have the microphone, right? So there's no tricking.
No.
Yeah.
That's it.
There's no tricking.
Raw.
You cannot fake it till you make it.
No. You have to just make it.
You have to actually make it.
Yeah.
It's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my chefs used to say that. He's like, that's the thing about faking it till you make it. Then you actually have to make it.
Make it.
For the faking to
work.
Sense. Yeah.
Right. You have to
fake it.
You got to write something down that you never done before. And when it comes to like showtime, you actually have to do it.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you take that out of your resume and don't ever say that again. Because you figured out that you sure cannot fake it till you make it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the make it is the most important part of the fake it, right?
Right, yeah. Like there is definitely those people out there that can fake it till they make it.
Right.
They can fake it, and for some reason it just works for them or whatever they're trying to do. But then there's people that definitely backfires on them.
I mean, our profession is kind of hard to fake it, though.
Yeah, you can't
fake it. No.
You can fake it on Instagram.
Well, right. There's a lot of, chefs that cook in their kitchen, right, these days. It's like a whole new thing where...
You could order it on Uber Eats.
Oh,
from ghost kitchens. Yeah.
What?
It's disgusting because you don't know, like...
I never thought of that.
En la casa, like, I don't know.
Really? I didn't even think of that.
Like, I mean, I don't know who's inspecting these restaurants.
Right, it's like renting the mansion and shit, but you don't really live there.
Yeah, like the Airbnb.
Yeah.
Like people have been doing Airbnb restaurants.
Right.
I mean, but you got to, people got to hustle out there. But there's definitely people that, like, and this is hard to say because you don't want to crush anyone, but there's some people who are like, oh, I'm good at cooking, so my dream is to be a chef, and I'm going to go be a chef. Mm-hmm. But the person doesn't actually want to be a chef.
Not really.
They just want all the good things that come from being a chef.
Right.
And so...
It's a hard-ass job.
Yeah, those people get found out real quick.
No doubt.
Yeah.
But I was saying, like, people that are chefs on social media, right? But they're cooking, like, they have cooked for, 5 people, right? They're really good at editing. They're really good at putting, cute things on the plate, and the pictures come out great and whatever, But, if you haven't had a line of tickets in front of you, right, and have to actually make it through it, to me, you're not a chef. You're not, because you don't understand what it takes to know 5 different salmons, 4 different steaks, and the salad, and the pasta's going down, and you have to understand that timing that it takes. Like people are like, man, you guys have so much fun in the kitchen. I'm like, when it's not busy, because when it's busy, every word counts, because everybody's brain is filled with information. And if we say anything, like front of the house going, so table number 9, his name is John, and John has a purple shirt, and he really did. I'm like, I don't care. Just tell me a burger and I will make it.
Right.
You know, like, because by the time you did that, where am I? Where was I going? And
no filler words.
And shit's burning. And then now the other guy's not going to get it, right? So, like, there's a lot of concentration that goes in, and it's not for everybody.
Yeah. No,
it's for very few people, actually.
Yeah.
You know.
But we're the few and the strong, for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of cooks out there. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
We're going to make the
hard
future.
Job.
Yeah. But people do it out of love, you know?
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
You know?
You ain't doing it for the money.
You ain't doing it for the money. Or the glory.
Yeah.
You know? Or for, like, eating meals standing on the corner next to the garbage. You're definitely not doing it for that.
Yeah.
Or getting out from work and not being able to sleep for hours because your brain's going 100 miles an hour. Or never having a holiday off. Or, you know, it's not for everybody.
The hours after you get out from a restaurant, like 1 to 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Just like
potatoes.
Yeah. French fries.
French potatoes. You know,
yeah.
like, did that carrot?
Did I order that?
Was it? Yeah. Seriously. That's why you don't cook breakfast when you cook dinner.
You know what I realized? Because of my life as a chef, I don't think I've ever gone to sleep like on purpose. My body has just been like, you're tired, go done. To sleep now. Yeah. You're done.
Yeah.
I have been passing out.
Passing out is the way.
I haven't been sleeping. You don't go to sleep. You just
like put your rings on a side bed and you like read your book for 2 seconds, take the glasses off, turn the light off, and just go, yeah, that doesn't exist.
As you come home, sit down, fall asleep, wake up at like 5 in the morning.
Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Where am I?
Take off all your clothes.
Yeah.
Go to bed. Wake up at fucking 6 because your fish purveyor is calling you.
Yeah. That sweet, sweet smell of those clothes, right? Like you only know if you know like what that smells. But even if you never fried a single fry,
right,
it'll still smell like a bucket of old French fry oil. There's a certain smell. If you dated a chef, if you are a chef, you know that smell. You don't. You know?
If you dated a chef.
If you dated a chef, you know that smell too. I'm sure.
Yep. The restaurant mixology smell.
Yeah.
Just like all the smells.
All together.
Yeah.
Makes that. It's like,
cleaners,
you know, when little kids put all the blue and the yellow and the line, it becomes a brown. So that's what the smell is like. It's a brown of everything.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I used to stay up really late ironing my chef coat.
Nice.
That was a really big thing for us. You know,
it's straight
culinary school and shit like that. So
school,
you're like, you know, always taught to iron your chef coat. Do my prep list in the middle of the night. So I'd get home at like 1. I wouldn't go to sleep till like 4.
Right.
And then, you know, you can't live like that.
You can't.
No, because you wake up at 12 and you just go right back to work.
Right.
You have no life really.
Yeah.
But even I'm working the morning shift now.
You are?
There's no life in that either.
How's that?
You go in
What is your hours?
I go in at 5.
In the morning?
Yeah, and I leave at 4.
In the afternoon? Are you on salary? Yeah, of course you are.
And then I come here.
Don't divide the hours.
And it's like, no, never.
Never do that.
No. And then I come here and I'm like, it's already nighttime.
Right, like what am I going to do?
Yeah. And you just go to, you eat. And then you have to go to bed because you got to wake up again at 3 in the morning so you can make it there on time at 5.
So that's why the traveling chef is something that I really am enjoying. Okay, so the thing with it is, like I told you, 50 days, 14 hours straight. I didn't have a single day off, right? So the plan is that I could work 8 months a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And make the same amount I would in a restaurant, as a head chef somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? But I can make that in 8 months. I'm working like a crazy person, which we do anyways.
Right.
I will have 4 months to go to my beach house in Brazil, do whatever the fuck I want. right? So I'm putting all the time in 8 to 9 months, and then have the rest off. That's the plan, Stan.
That's the way to be.
Yeah.
Time off that you can pick and choose.
Pick and choose.
Is very nice.
Yeah. Pick and choose, and then, being able to also, like, I don't take any job that's more than 3 months. 3 months being like the longest. I like 60, 50 days, 40 days. So like, cause man, you can withstand anything for 3 or less months. Shitty coworker, fucking horrible boss, micromanager.
Because it has
too
an
many
end date,
hours. There's an end date.
Right.
Yeah, there's an end date. You get this like dream job somewhere, and you get there and you're like, oh shit, the hours suck, and the supervisor dudes suck, and now that's your job, and that's what you're doing. There's no way out.
Yeah.
So
you just live with it.
You just live with it.
How do you deal with difficult people that, because I know how it is to being a traveling chef. You come into these situations where people have been working there for like 10 years, like especially personal chef in the house. It's like, oh yeah, I raised her children.
Right.
And that person, the nanny or whatever, is usually the boss.
The nanny's the boss. I never done one of those, ever.
It's just because they've been living there for so long.
Right.
That they're just like.
She's like the governante.
Yeah.
Governance.
Like, oh, don't do that because you're going to get in trouble.
Right.
Trouble?
I'm not sure if I could do that either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, get in trouble?
Like,
you know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
Retreats and festivals and lodges, and that's more what I'm thinking. I come, I open the kitchen, and I shut the kitchen down, and we're out.
Yeah. That's where it be.
Yeah.
Good way
I'm
to
the
do
boss. Everything goes left-handed. Because I'm a lefty. Most things in the kitchen goes to the right.
Yeah.
My kitchen, they go to the left, and everybody gets used to it, and that's that. And that's the thing, though. Like, I do what's called vibrational cooking. I'm writing a book about it, actually. And it's part of it's the sustainability. But a big part of it is running a kitchen without the toxic environment that we all know of, right? Lots of cussing and screaming. You have that guy that's like stirring the soup, and you have the chef on his head going, you fucking blah, blah, blah. That soup is going to give people indigestion. I fully believe it. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in my kitchen, we're chilling, and we're nice to each other, and we are loving to each other. And if you start to like get a little aggro, you're going outside for a breather. And if you can't handle it, then you're not working with me. Right? In my kitchen, we're chilling and we're enjoying each other. When it's busy, right, and it's stressful, even then, there's no cussing. I am not mean to anyone, and that's part of the vibrational, keeping the vibration of the kitchen at a higher level. Because, like your grandmother, didn't she tell you, it takes like, oh, grandma, how did you make that lasagna? I put secret ingredient, which is love, right? So you can infuse food with love, even if it's not to your loved one.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. That's why when people eat my food, they go, oh my God, that's the best thing I've ever had. I'm like, yeah, because you're tasting love in there,
Something I'd like to bring to kitchens is, you know how people and families prep sitting down at the dining room table?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, that's the shit.
Like, why are we standing?
Yeah, why is one person suffering making 600 agnolotti when we could just all do it and help him?
Right, be done.
And be done in 1 hour,
right.
Instead, it's like he got to suffer through it,
Right.
So I understand teaching people sense of urgency.
Right.
But I don't understand sabotaging them.
Well, we're a team, right?
Yeah.
Should be a team, right? Yeah, so there's a lot of, so that all that doesn't go in my kitchen, I think makes a huge difference. When I consciously, when I'm making food, I think of health and happiness and love and, a perfect body and perfect digestion and all those things. And I believe, I don't know the Japanese guy's name, but he he did that experiment with the water, right? But all these cups of water, and he put the word hate and anger and love and caring on each. And every day he sat and he thought of anger and he thought of happiness on each of the cups. And then he puts under the microscope. And like the anger ones are like all pointy and crazy looking. And the loved ones are all round and look like a snowflake kind of thing. If you search that, like it is crazy. It's fully documented, you know, because we have the power to switch things like that. You know, so that's what I do with the food, is like being able to like push that. So if somebody comes in the kitchen and goes, oh yeah, because blah, blah, I'm like, whoa, wave that off, bro. Like walk the other way. Like go do that somewhere else. Like, cause here we're chilling, music's playing and we're hanging out. And
have you had to do that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. As a woman in the kitchen. Yes. As a first generation immigrant in the kitchen, most definitely. And the boss, most definitely.
Were you ever an old school chef like that?
No.
You were always loving?
Well, the thing is, though, is that I was never into the position to be able to do that. I was just being mistreated by the boss man all the time. Years of that. You know, I mean, you've seen it, right? Like it happens all the time.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, it's a majority of. So the vibrational cooking culinary that I develop is from all the years of suffering that, and knowing that when I had a kitchen for myself, that my food tasted better. I know that for a fact. You know, people will eat. I know that fish was prepared correctly, and people come back and be like, okay, so that fish was prepared 30 times tonight, right? There's one time that the fish was prepared where the head chef was screaming in the head of the guy that was frying the fish. Then I watch that fish goes to table number 12 with the lady with the purple hair, whatever. Half an hour later, or the next day, lady with purple hair comes back and say, you know what, that fish fucked me up. And it's not because we cooked it any differently, but because what was happening, well, that guy was flipping that fish. You know, I seen it happen. I was like, when I can do it, the day I can do it, we're going to run this shit on peace, love, and care, and tender. You know what I'm saying? And it makes a difference.
Yeah. Happy
really
cooks,
does.
good food.
Yeah.
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 Crazy. So if people want to book you or get a hold of you, how do they do that?
I have a website, which is michelleethefox.com. So 2 E's at the end, 2 L's, 2 E's, which is the same as my Instagram, Michellee the Fox, TikTok, all across. So Google will try to make my name Michellee Fox, and that is like a lady in, I think, like Texas, and she's like a pretty famous reporter, sports reporter. So you might get her,
right?
But you have to tell Google, like, no, actually,
I'm talking about Michellee.
Yeah, 2 L's, 2 E's, the Fox.
Got it.
And yeah, just send me a message on Instagram. It's always open. I do have it where I have to accept you just because of all the weirdos in the world.
Yeah. People get weird.
People get weird so much. But yeah, just send me a message on my Facebook, or my Facebook. God, like my son said, that's for old people, Mom. On my website, there's an inquiry that you can fill it out. I'll get the email.
Word up.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And you're going to be in Finland, and when does that end? Is that 3 months?
I come back to the Bay March 31st. So I'm booking like May on.
Okay.
Now, May 2024 on.
Heard that. You can book Michellee the Fox. Check her out on her website. Thanks for coming on the show.
So much fun. We've been talking about this for
a long time.
Yeah.
But you're all the way to fucking Alaska.
Yeah,
so
before like, that, even further. So
yeah. But you know what? I'm happy that we held down. We didn't do it virtually.
Me too.
Because like that's not how I like to do it. Because you said the vibrations. I'm like that too. And
we want to hang out.
I need to be in the room. I
yeah.
can't be,
wanted to hang out, and it's right before I go to Finland, which is really exciting. You know, have things to actually say.
For sure.
So shit happened for a reason.
Hell yeah. So. Well, I know out there's probably a young cook somewhere that wants to do what you do.
Yeah.
And maybe doesn't know that it's a choice.
It's a choice.
Or that you can do that.
Yeah.
And so, that's why I do this show.
I would say for that person too, you can always find another job.
Yeah.
Don't let them fuck with you. If you're being mistreated, leave. You can always get another job.
Very true. It's not worth anything.
It really
Michelin
isn't.
stars,
Nothing.
pride, nothing. Well, I think we're going to start to see a change.
I think so too.
Down here. Yeah. Especially now because it's easier to ring the bell and say, hey, this is going on
this is
over
bad.
here.
Yeah,
exactly. There's a lot of programs out there now.
And I think after COVID, people realize that, I can live without that job. There's so much more that I can do. And so it has changed people a little. And I think, if you don't feel happy, start searching for other jobs.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Loyalty. You don't have to be loyal to no one but your family.
And yourself.
That's it. Yeah, and yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not loyal to the boss. In fact, most bosses just want you there so they don't have to do your job.
They count on the fact that you're going to be loyal.
Exactly.
And they're like, you be loyal for 5 years and we will. That never comes.
Yeah.
That is just a tale. Very short.
If they had it, they'd give it to you now.
Exactly.
They wanted to give
also, nobody gives you a raise until you ask for it.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody says, hey, man, do you want some more money? It never happens. So if you feel like you're worth more money, sit their ass down before your shift and say, you know what? I need a raise.
Yeah.
And that's when they give it to you.
Exactly.
They're just waiting.
And if they don't give it to you,
then you go somewhere else.
Exactly. Go somewhere else and don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Don't it's not even their fault. Most managers don't know.
No, it's not.
They're like, what? Raise, huh?
They haven't given me a raise in 3 years.
The first thing
asks.
The first thing that manager thinks is, well, I need a raise too.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, if you're scared to ask for a raise, I'm sorry, I ain't you. You know what I mean?
Nobody gives you money for free. You have to ask for it.
Hell no. Let's see. Maybe we can get some sponsorship on the show.
Yeah, let's do that.
Sucio Talk Podcast. Peace out. We'll see you next week. Yes, chef. Ready? Boom. We out this bitch.